Welcome back to Lake Placid in the Adirondack Mountains in upstate New York. We're ready for the deciding run, fourth race of the BMW IBSF Women's Bobsleigh World Cup. Hello everybody, Martin Haven, and alongside me John Morgan, trackside here at one of the most historic ice sliding venues on the planet. And a fantastic second heat in prospect, with Germany's Schneider Heinzer in a medal position for the first time all year.
Yeah, her brakeman, Erin Nolte, she's lost 20 pounds. And Schneider Heinzer's always got great starts. She's had problems with consistency down the track. But this former Olympic champion as a brakeman is posed to win her first medal of the 2015-16 season. Next up, Kaylee Humphries, Melissa Loholtz. These ladies have been dominating in Europe. They lead the World Cup circuit, and Humphries, who knows this track as good as any other female driver, she's won the World Championships here. She's won numerous World Cups here. And she does what she normally does. She comes down and puts herself in a position to win a gold again. But everybody's chasing these two. Even after a slip by brakeman Cheryl Garrett of the United States, Jamie Greubel Posner drove awesome down the track. They had the best start time of the competition, even with that slip. And she flew down as expected on her home track, and she's the leader.
Last year, the USA swept the podium. Cheryl Garrett was in the winning sled behind Alana Myers-Taylor. Jasmine Fenlater and Natalie Durant, neither of whom are with the US program, took silver. Jamie Greubel Posner with the bronze, pushed by Lauren Gibbs, who will also compete during the rest of the season. But it's Jamie and Cheryl who lead the competition here, ahead of Kaylee Humphries and Melissa Loholtz. Behind them, though, the battle for bronze, Anja Schneider Heinzer of Germany versus Christina Hinkster of Austria. Well, there is the double Olympic champion. Double duty this weekend for Kaylee Humphries. She's racing in the two-man sled in this women's race. She's also racing in a four-man sled tomorrow in the men's bobsleigh race. But there aren't going to be any men on her crew. It is all four women. For the first time at World Cup level, there'll be a four-woman crew in the race. Well, the USA with two rookie teams here this weekend. Brittany Reinbold and Bonnie Killies lie 8th. Just ahead of them, Nicole Folt and Kristen Hurley lying in 7th place. And Christina Hinkster of Austria here might just put herself in amongst the medals. Only 600ths away. The Belgian Bullets, two bronze medals so far two silver medals so far this season for Elka Willemsen. She's out of contention here. She didn't have quite a tight enough slide, and she lies in 5th position.
I think we got to bring up the fact that Alana Myers not here. She's missed the last race in Birch's Garden, some concussion protocol. But today on Twitter, we saw the fact that she's been cleared, and we'll probably see her next week as the tour moves to the Olympic track in Park City.
Yeah, really good news for Alana Myers-Taylor, and certainly much expected news and hoped for news for her husband Nick as well. He'll be very relieved to hear that. Kicking off our second heat will be Mariana Yankova with her brand new brakewoman Anna Lobenstein. They lie in 9th place after the first heat.
Well, the brand new twosome here. We didn't see them until we had Birch's Garden. And,
yep.
You know, and the brakeman Lobenstein is her home track's Oberhof, that old former East German sports training facility.
She's just 21 years old, the brakewoman. This is her first ever World Cup race. 5:71 getaway, just a fraction slower than their first start.
First time she's ever seen the track. She had 6 practice trips, 1 race trip, and here she is. She's, you know, it's her against the mountain. You know, when she gets to the bottom, she'll say, "What's my time?" But she just wants to get to the bottom. And Lake Placid, and like a lot of the athletes do, it's a challenge.
It's a nice, smooth-looking run from Mariana Yankova. Now, normally you only get about half an hour between the run ending and the next one beginning, but they've had an entire heat of men's bobsleigh in between, so time to warm up and time to think about the mistakes in the first heat. And look at that great run through the
That's as good as you're going to see any of the 9 sleds coming down the track. We only saw 2 men's sleds do that out of 18 that came down just an hour ago. 2 people get through there clean. One of them's the leader.
That's a really nice chicane from Mariana Yankova, 58.02, little slower than her first heat, but it's a couple of hours after that first run. The track is warming up.
It's track, plus there's been another 18, 20 sleds been down the track. They haven't a lot of time to prep the track between the men's first run and the women's second run.
And this is probably 15 degrees warmer than at any stage during the training days.
Look at the lines. Now watch the transition here. This is where we saw the British team, Lamondine, crash, and she gets through her pretty good, but this is, boy, if they could give you some points, she'd get a lot of points for this. Wasn't fast, but that's as clean a line as you're going to see in the men or women's competition. Again, we've only seen it twice in the men's competition. That's the first female that's got through there clean.
So Mariana Yankova of the USA leads. Smiling blonde face of Brittany Reinbold, and Bonnie Killies behind her, her brand new brakewoman. So for both these US crews now, this is a World Cup debut.
Another brakeman, former heptathlete.
And Brittany started her bobsledding career as a brakewoman before learning to drive, recruiting teams.
Driving one of the older Bodines that are... When I was a competitor, we had to buy our own equipment. The U.S. team comes out here, and there's about 15 sleds in the garage for them that still have some pace.
Coach Pete Gunn and a couple of the drivers, when they originally came here for a bob school, they were handed not one of these, but a partially cowled sled from the 80s. They thought, yeah, okay, good joke, where's the real sled? That's what you learn on.
It's a good line.
Yeah.
Really. Let's see if she gets through her clean as
oh, big skid, and that, I'm afraid, 600s behind into the chicane.
Oh, a little late there, too.
Brittany's not going to catch the German girl.
She outstarted her, I think, but yeah, no, she was 200 behind at the start, too. And so the young German, Yamanka, can know she's going to finish no worse than 8th.
Yep.
Which... I tell you, I'm pretty encouraged watching her out here and only having 6 trips on this track to do what she's done.
Well, today's news that Alana Myers-Taylor is fit to slide may well mean that she's back in Park City, which means one of these 2 US rookie crews is unlikely to make the trip.
Yeah, this didn't help the time at the bottom when you're skidding across the ice.
And imagine the nerves, your first ever World Cup race, you really want to do well, you're at home with all of that pressure. And there's Lauren Gibbs in the back, who was on the podium with Jamie Greubel-Poser last year in what was Lauren's first ever World Cup race, as it was for Cherelle Garrett. Now here's Nicole Folt, the better of the 2 rookie crews. She's got Kristen Hurley behind her. Nicole, 29-year-old from Wichita, Kansas originally. She was a high school volleyballer and basketballer, rode through college. And Kristen Hurley has been sliding skeleton as well as braking on the bobsleds.
Hurley's phys ed teacher. Tried skeleton, but she says she sort of likes the bobsled. Maybe she'll get in the front seat. 74 start. A couple hundred slower than their first run.
And the same as in the first heat, just 100 slower than their teammates. A little awkward transition. 1 to 2, 2 to 3.
She had 1,200 feet, it's got a 6. So find the German at the bottom, I'm thinking. Got a chance to move up another one.
Through the Devil's Highway, down to Shady 2.
Let's see if she can find the clean line and hold on to this slim lead. But boy, she's really, sled's out of control right there. Back out of the sled was out of control. The exit of 10, 11. Now it's down to 1. I don't know.
Bumping her around. She's going to struggle to hold on to that position.
Ooh, right there too. She could fall 2 places. No, she's going to fall at least 1 spot.
She'll be in front of her teammate Brittany Reinbold, but behind Mariana Yankova there on the right, along with Ann Lobenstein, spending a little time in the leader's box.
Was not a smooth ride. Bottom part of the track, a track she knows well. Sled got away from her curve 11-12.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of people the sled gets away from you 11-12, and she didn't get caught up until about 13. This is up top, where the speeds are slow, 2-3. Watch her hit here, and it comes pretty good drifts, but she taps going on the takedown. But here's where the exit of Shady. Now watch her skid going into this next curve. Watch her really steer hard there, and now watch she's in the wrong side of the curve, take on. So she's late for about 100 meters of the track, and that's probably why she lost so much time.
And at that speed, 70 miles an hour there. That's a big old moment. Next up is Anne van Nieuwenhuis from Belgium. She was the first out the start shed this morning. 24-year-old Anne, 21-year-old brakewoman Loes Hubrecht. And their sled, Spanky, is the one that was raced last year so effectively by Elka Willemsen. You can see the pale blue from last year still under the new red wrap of the Red Devils.
Well, they'll give up a lot of time in the start. They're the 9th best time, 586, so anything around 584, 85, 584. Consistent. She's shown the ability to have some clean lines down the track. Bang, straight. Look at the way she just allows the sled to run.
Getting very inexperienced on this track.
Yeah. Probably her first time down as a driver, 6 practice trips. Maybe she had paid training, I think, on Monday, so maybe 8 total trips.
Yeah.
Ooh, a little high there and shady. You saw the heads bump a little bit.
Imagine that if you told a race car driver he had 8 minutes to learn a track and then he could come back next year after and spend 2 minutes racing it.
But she's flying here.
She is. 128.6 is very good speed through the chicane.
Oh, she late there on the bottom, 18 and 19.
Hold it together, come on, Anne. Half a second up over Mariana.
Look at her duck her head for dynamic.
Look at that, and it works.
Yeah.
6/10 is the lead.
57.62. That's only 2,600 slower than her first run, but she likes it.
Yes, she does.
She's got Lake Placid in her rearview mirror.
Ah, she likes that. She's feeling the force. That was a great second run.
That's a top 6 finish, too.
Yep. So, 7th, 9th, and 7th this year. That may
Look
well
how high
be her
she gets here.
best
Look
World
how high.
Cup result.
Look at the head snap there, late on that pressure point. Then down here, this is where the sled goes a little bit airborne. She's a little late coming off 18, 19. Not bad.
Yeah, got to think that's her best World Cup result ever.
In the top
Next
10.
up,
Yeah.
well, top 6. She's had 2 7th places this year. Elka Willemsen, Sophie Verkrijsen. Elfia, 3rd in the World Cup ranking. She's had 2 silver medals and a 6th position in Winterberg. So, what can she produce here? Exactly half a second off the lead, but only 1400ths out of the medals.
Track and field athletes, hammer throwers.
She's a javelin thrower, Elfia. She didn't have a clean first run, John, and that might be the first since Winterberg that she's had a bit of a flaky heat.
574, 573 in the first run. Let's see if she doesn't tap up here. In the first run, she did. Not too bad. This is so far, we're going to grade her better at the top of the track than she had in the first run. And she's got a half-second lead. As expected, that should grow. If that does not grow, that means she's not. Doesn't have the good runners on her. Just didn't drive well.
112. That's not great speed there.
It's not.
She's not feeling the love with this new sled Maximus as much as she did last year with the old sled Spanky.
4,900. She should be at least.
Well, she's starting to open up the advantage over teammate Anne van Nieuwenhuis. But this is her challenging for the medals. 5,400s up, 127.1. Best speed of the heat, bar van Nieuwenhuis, who had 128.6.
6,500. She only beat her teammate in that heat by 1,500ths of a second. And usually she's much better. So I don't think she's got the kinks out of this sled yet.
Yeah.
Her teammate's driving her sled where we used to give her the name Queen of Speed because she was always with the best speed on the bottom part of the track.
And the little logo there is in memory of coach Malcolm Lloyd, who passed away just a week or so ago. Goma, one of the big figures in this sport, no matter what nation you came from.
Everybody's wearing armbands. You're going to see some people with pictures on the sled. Look at the lines through here. We're pretty good. Not perfect, but not as good as we saw Yamanka from Germany come through there.
She shot that chicane like she's been doing it all her life. Belgium 1-2, Germany 3, with 4 sleds to go. Christina Hinkster of Austria, Sanna Decker behind her on the brakes. 4th after the first heat. Ardenhaven, John Morgan trackside here in Lake Placid.
She's got a chance for the medals here. 61 start, so anything around 62, even a 60. 60, there you go, she's improved. Now, that's very good start speed, though. Let's see if she can get, remember, she hit her hard here in the first run.
Only 600ths of a second out of the medals in the first heat. This is absolutely on for Christina Hinkster. She took a bronze medal in the first race in Altenburg, another real driver's track.
What's she call her sled?
Betsy the Beast.
Find a way to beast down the track there. She's quarter second.
Got good speed, but she's still got the advantage over the Belgians.
Gonna need to be clean here. Look at the runner tips.
Bumps into Benham's bend and a huge skid in the chicane.
Got it 2/10. Look at the 4Gs into the heart.
This will be into single digits by the line.
Down to 17. Should have enough. Should be at least 10/100ths.
But is it enough to challenge for the medals? She just holds on. 57.33 compared to a 56.97 first heat. So nobody is finding more speed than in their first run.
Well, there's been a lot of sleds come down the track, but Christina Hinkster knows that she's got a top 4 finish no matter what, and she could get a medal. She's not done yet.
Look at the big smile on her face. This is such a standout season for them. This BTC Latvia sled has transformed their performances.
Look at the line, perfect. The brakeman, perfectly buried.
You've got to say, actually, it's the BTC sled and having Sanna Decker behind her, giving her such good starts as well.
Little different taps there than we've seen anybody else on the left side, not the right side of the screen, but she tapped her way to first place.
Schneider with Erlene Nolter behind her. 37-year-old German veteran Anja Schneider Heinzer. Now, can she take her first medal here in the North American swing? Not on the podium all year long. Never out of the top 6, never in the top 3.
5:50 in the first run, 5:49 in the second run. Good start speed. Let's see what this former Olympic champion as a brakeman can do. Let's see the exit here. Pretty quiet. Should have a 2500ths lead here. There it is. And she wants the chance to move up. She's going to have to accelerate more.
She was 1800ths behind Kaylee
She lost
Humphries.
a couple back.
2300ths over Christina Hinkster.
Big steer there at 12.
12 is getting more and more outrageous with every passing sled.
Oh, it's down to 13. Speed.
Not there. 126.5 is not enough. She
almost tipped over. Oh, she's late.
Wild. She's really trying to let it fly.
Right to the 100th. Either way.
Who's going to take the medal? And it's going to be Hinkster.
Oh.
Yes, it is. Hinkster's in the medals for the 3rd time this season. And again, it'll be a top 6 finish for Schneider, but maybe not a top 3.
She fell behind Willemsen, too.
Yeah.
But that time, she was late in curve 11, 12. She just said, my bad. Watch this now. Watch the back end of the sled here. Why, you want to see somebody steer a sled? Watch this. Look at that. Look at the way she started. You saw the back end of the sled come up. It's not the person that steers the most that wins. It's the driver who steers the least. And the sled was just, she couldn't catch up with it all the way down here. Late into the finish.
There is no respite on this track. Every corner is immediately followed by another one. It is just relentless. You get behind, you stay behind. What about Kaylee Humphries and Melissa Lotholtz? Second after the first heat for the double Olympic and double world champion Kaylee Humphries. 1900ths out of the lead, though. That is a big margin.
The only athlete in the field with goggles, maybe in both men's and women's race.
She didn't have the most Kaylee Humphries of runs in the first heat. 5:49.
Much better start speed, not 44. And boy, considering, ooh, she tapped there too. You know, she's the world champion of this track. She's won at least 2 more World Cups besides that World Championship.
Well, like Elka Willemsen and Christina Hinkster, who are second and first at the moment, she's in a BTC Latvia sled, but her sled has got the runners and the axles from last year's Eurotech. It saves a bit of weight, it gives her the feel she wants, but has it fundamentally changed the sled? Is it no longer as quick as it should be?
Great sneak through the Greubel there. That's the 2-time Olympic champion we know, who compete tomorrow in the 4-man race, 4 females, first ever, historic day tomorrow. And this is good, at least she can do no worse than silver medal, 4/10. Now she had, let's see, 2100ths lead, so she increased her lead by almost 2/10 of a second there. But she came through there as good as anybody through the chicane. You've seen today. We've only seen 4 athletes now in 40 plus trips get through that chicane straight. Here's up top. If there was a problem, she was a little late in the exit of 2. Look at the back end skidding. A lot of time up there, though. But here's where she corrects. Watch the sled hit. They come right down the middle. She did not try and steer away from the wall. And that's why she's the World Cup leader, and she's got 2 gold medals around her neck. She might be one of the best drivers in women's bobsledding on the planet, if not.
Well, she said she wanted to win this race for Goma, for Malcolm Lloyd, her former coach, man who gave her the confidence to step up into the front seat and become a double Olympic champion. But she has to beat last year's bronze medalist, the girl who leads this race, Jamie Greubel-Poser, with Little Miss Dynamite on the back of the sled, Cherelle Garrett. Now, remember at the start of the first heat, Cherelle's first step on the ice, didn't even get the spikes in the ice. The toe of her shoe skidded. They still outstarted everyone.
Watch her right foot. Yeah, this time she got it down.
Sort of stumbled with the left foot this time.
Well, I think she was really concentrating on getting the foot down. 48. 48.
48.
Speed, awesome. First team to crack 45 kilometers an hour speed, which is 28 miles an hour. Now, it's her race to lose.
Jamie sits up high in this BMW sled.
Men's race coming up right after this. Nico Walter and her husband, Christoph Poser, is in the lead.
Yeah.
This could be
a family double.
Yeah,
That
double here.
That's got to be a first for the record books. 1:14.5, good speed. She's still in the lead by 3/10.
3400s. Only a bad skid here could eliminate any kind of green numbers, and that's perfect.
4/10.
Pull away.
She skids on the exit of the chicane. Can she hold it through the heart?
This looks like gold medal.
Driving away, top speed 1:30.8. And it is gold for Jamie Greubel-Poser with Cherelle Garrett. Silver for Kaylee Humphries, Melissa Lottholtz, and Malcolm Lloyd riding with her, no doubt. And Christina Hinkster and Sanna Decker take the bronze. But the American girl wins in Lake Placid.
And her teammate Alana Myers probably joined the field next week in Park City. Look at the armband.
Yeah, this is for Goma. Well, Cherelle Garrett won last year behind Alana Myers-Taylor. She wins again, and down there, Lauren Gibbs in the Parker, who was in the bronze behind Jamie Greubel-Poser last year, helping with the sled. Jamie Greubel-Poser claims her second win of the season. Her first.
Jim Shea,
Yeah, Jimmy Shea's father.
Yeah, Olympic gold medalist. And his father was the Olympic gold medalist in speed skating at Lake Placid in '32, and his son was the Olympic skeleton gold medalist in 2002. There's the Gomer message. Sepp Plaza, the coach.
Yeah. Well, despite 2 slips off the blocks, Cherelle Garrett and Jamie Greubel-Poser outstart everyone, and Jamie outdrives everyone down this.
The start speed was pretty incredible too.
Yeah. Considering those were both dodgy starts.
Hey, the Germans were
great.
The Germans dominated on their tracks, and here the Americans look like they're going to dominate here on the North American track. Of course, Kaylee Humphries right there might have something to say next week too.
The Germans have yet to win a race though. We've had 2 wins for Kaylee Humphries. We've now had 2 wins for Jamie Greubel-Poser.
I was thinking about the German men.
Yeah,
right.
and the Germans have yet to claim a medal in women's bobsledding this year. Anja Schneider Heinzer again in the top 6. She's in 5th place. So there is your finishing order. Nicole Folt, the rookie ahead of fellow rookie Brittany Reinbold. It may well be Folt who joins the field again in Salt Lake City. But Jamie Greubel-Poser wins here at home in Lake Placid. Well, a great win for Jamie Greubel-Poser. Annie O'Shea of the USA claimed her first ever World Cup win in women's skeleton for the USA. And women's bobsleigh, it's victory as well for the USA. Jamie Greubel-Poser and Cherelle Garrett. And as John said, with Christian Poser behind Nico Walter leading the men's 2-man competition, it'll come up for its decisive runs in a few minutes. It could be a unique family double. I can't even begin to imagine that that has ever happened before.
I don't think there's any record book we can find with something like that in it.
I'm desperately racking my brains now, trying to think of a husband and a wife who have competed at the same time.
Same day, within hours of each other.
I don't think so.
Cornell University graduate, the former heptathlete right there, Jamie Greubel-Posner.
Yeah, well,
big shady curve. If you tilt up a little bit in that camera, you'd see the other shadies not far away. The other track's over there on the right side. The other shady was pretty.
I was down there yesterday in the sunshine, and you get used to these walls, like a motor racing track, being a bank where you gradually come up from a horizontal surface, and it never quite gets vertical. The old track, you had a flat surface and you had a vertical wall, and there's nothing between them. There's no curvature at all, it's just vertical. Even looking at the old shady makes you sure you don't want to go down it. Well, there's one of the signature corners in world bobsledding, the chicane, and there's not many on the planet who get that right once, never mind twice, in a race week here in Lake Placid. A beautiful day in the Adirondack Mountains. Kaylee Humphries leads the World Cup rankings after 4 of our 8 World Cups. Jamie Greubel-Posner in second place after victory here, now just 10 points behind, and silver for Kaylee kept her nose in front in the battle. Alana Myers-Taylor has slumped down to 9th place in the rankings after missing the last 2 races. She took the silver medal in her second race of the season in Winterberg, and we expect her, now she's cleared fit to race, to return for Salt Lake next week. But for Jamie Greubel-Posner and Cherelle Garrett, they are the winners here in Lake Placid. John Morgan, 2 great runs.
Yeah, consistent. She flew in the bottom part of the track. She had the best start time. She also had the best lines, the best speeds. You know, and Jamie Greubel-Posner, who has sort of been second fiddle to Alana Myers, this is going to be quite a challenge here the rest of the season, because Jamie Greubel-Posner looks like she's got a good line going here in 2016.
Well, this is starting to boil down into a 2-horse race for the World Cup and the Crystal Globe between Olympic champion Kaylee Humphries on the left in the goggles and Jamie Greubel-Posner in the red, white and blue hat in the center of your shot. There's just 10 points in it.
Ted Blazer, the CEO of the Olympic Authority here in Lake Placid, handing out the flowers.
Christina Hinkster on the right, Sanna Decker next to her, the Austrians who claim the bronze medal. Silver for Canada. And gold for the USA. Second time today, the USA have struck gold with Annie O'Shea, and then with Jamie Greubel-Posner and Cherelle Garrett. And everybody with stickers remembering Coach Malcolm Lloyd. That's it then for race 4 of the Women's Bobsleigh World Cup. Join us next time out at Salt Lake City, Utah. Until then, from John Morgan, me, Martin Haven, the rest of the IBSF TV crew here in Lake Placid, it's goodbye for now.